I promise I'm actually going to write a routine one night and get an ending to that. But first, I need to get me a MIDI foot controller. I have no way of controlling the MIDI signal from this guy. My Motul is not, I don't have it working yet. Let me open up the chat, guys. I'll see what you guys are chatting about. I actually like the chat all the way open. Ooh, I might be able to do it like that. Another thing that I need to eventually figure out. So how's everybody's Saturday been so far? I tell you what, today here was super nice. It got to 83 degrees today, and I took about a 4.5 or 5 hour motorcycle ride, and got out and stretched my legs a little bit in the nice weather. Come home, took a power nap, ate a little bit, and then here we are, streaming, talking music. But that was my day. I don't know what you guys did today. I know some people in the group here do ride. So if you ride, today was, at least in this area, a good day to go riding. So let's see who all's in the group here. We got Renee, Time Surfing Alien, Jerry Dover, and of course the Super Honey, Devastator, Who else we got? We got Jackie in here. We got Kurt Inscale in here. We got Penagore in here. Nicholas is in here. And if I'm missing anybody, I apologize, but I think I got everybody. If I didn't, just type your name in there again so I can see it. Devastator did some racing. Uh-oh. What are you racing?
Probably on his big old screen.
Oh, that's right. We last night we had a Skype call with Devastator, and he has this extremely high-tech gaming PC racing chair steering wheel with this big, huge curved monitor that goes all the way around. So I think that's probably what he was talking about. He was probably doing some sim racing today. Hey, I see Stefan's in here. What's up, Steven? So what'd you guys do? We got one response. So we got some racing. I know somebody did some jamming. I actually got the stream up and running a little bit and semi-tuned the Kramer. I didn't spend too much time tuning it because it needs strings. But I did semi-tune it. It's still not 440 if you guys wanted to play along with me or anything. It's probably just a fraction above 3540, so it's down almost a full half step. That's where I like tuning my guitars when I'm playing, rock music. I just think the chords resonate out a little better a half step down. So if you'll ever go back, the live streams, I'm usually 3540. I'm usually tuned a half step down. I see Time Surfing Alien put some smacking hands up there. So I better be straight this live stream. He's gonna come through the TV screen and get me. Wow, you guys are really hammering out tonight. The chat is full. Well, once Jupe gets in here, we are going to open that box over here that's over my shoulder. If you're familiar with the live streams and you've been paying attention, Jupe sent me a guitar. He sent me a Schecter, and it showed up here on Thursday. So I didn't want to open it until it actually had time to acclimate to the house. It's been here 2 days, so I think it's okay now to open it up and look at some of the goodies that he put in the box. Supposedly he put some pickups in there and some other stuff, and then I have to order parts to fix the bridge. And I'm kind of curious to see how the frets are on the guitar. So we might do like a little mini review of the broken guitar. Kind of check it out. Maybe even do some fret rockering on it to see how bad the frets are. He didn't really say it was too horrible. It's more about the bridge and the pickup replacement. But while it's here, I want to make sure everything's good on it. So we'll check the frets. And as soon as he gets in here, I'm sure he'll type in. But that is his guitar, so we are going to open it tonight. So last Thursday, we went over distortion pedals. I don't know how many people went back and actually watched the stream if you wasn't here live. I know everyone plays different things, and I had originally intended to do a bunch of reviews on the puppy dog. The fuzzball got a haircut today, so he looks a little different. But my original intention on all the pedals was doing little mini reviews on each pedal. And the more I started looking into it, this is just my thought, pedals get expensive really quick. And nowadays, Boss and these other companies, they have these little mini pedals, and it gives you reverb, delay, chorus, flanger. I think some of the cheaper ones, you can only use maybe 3 or 4 effects at one time. But I still feel that that's probably the better bang for the buck. But if you want a simple system, like I've got my little Egnator over here, it already has reverb in it. So it's nice just to maybe stick a delay pedal on it or a chorus pedal and have just a real simple rig, guitar. I can go guitar, pedal, amp, but it also has an effects loop, so I could technically come out on the effects loop and do it that way. So I am personally saving up for an XFX 3. I think that's going to be more suited for what I'm doing right now. I do have a Line 6 stomp, and this little guy here is kind of, let me change my camera angle. We can get a, right here you can see my little Line 6 stomp. And this little guy is what you all heard in the beginning. There was no amplifier there. And what's nice about it is I can actually talk to you guys and play. And when I'm using this, it doesn't affect my overhead microphone. Now see, I didn't even bring my microphone over where it should be, so I'm probably a little low voice-wise. Let me give me a little bit more on the voice. Check, check, check. That should be good. Probably a little louder now. So using the Line 6, it opens up a lot of things for me. If I put my headphones on, I'm going to leave this camera here on. So you can tell I'm not going to turn on channel 3. But if I take the guitar, that's all I hear in the room. But as soon as I hit the channel, but I can also talk during it. So I can sit here and just, there's no impact. Missed a note right there. I have really been actively working on my hammer-ons, trying to get the notes more accurate. I don't know if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, but I've really been struggling with getting the hammer-on active and trying to get that first harmonic. I've just been going over it and over it and over, trying to get my playing a little bit more crisp. Been working on that slowly. That way I can come back and And you can hear I'm missing that. I'm trying to alternative pick. That's what I'm working on right now. I'm just trying to get the alternative picking a little quicker and a little quicker and a little quicker. So each time I'm just I don't know if you guys do the exact same thing. That's pretty much how I practice. I start with something simple, and if I know what I want to do, I'm going to straight pick it to start with. Then I'm going to try to alternative pick it. Then I'm going to try to double pick it. And it is very, notice I'm not doing 4. I'm only doing 3 notes. When you alternative pick, it's always in 4s. So that means I need to go down, up, down. Then I have to hop over the string and come up, because I'm not doing a 4-note sequence. So it makes it very difficult. And I do that a lot. If you guys listen to my playing, a lot of the weird things that I do are 3-note sequences, not 4. That's what a lot of people say. I have a weird timing. It isn't hitting on the quarters. I'm doing like basically thirds. I don't know. Let me go back to the chat. I'll see what you guys are thinking about. Should I just stop while I'm ahead? Because it's like, oh, dude, that's so far out in left field and you suck at it. Or should I just continue hammering on this little stupid? I really want to get it. But I want to get it doing it this way. It is, for me, it is really screwing with my little squirrel brain. Now I can't even get it right. But basically I want to hit the note twice to make it sound like I'm playing it faster. In reality, I'm not playing it any faster, I'm just doubling the notes. It's a way of cheating. Eventually, I guess, if my fingers would get faster, I guess I could play it faster. But I can't even get the doubles down and switch over the string without hitting the string. So that's what I've been working on. I don't know if you guys have got something that has just been kicking your butt and you're trying to learn it and you're trying to learn it and you're trying to learn it. It doesn't seem like you've been making much progress, and that's how I am on that one. I don't feel like I'm really progressing learning that little sequence of notes. And what I've noticed with my playing, I'll practice something, I'll give up on it. And it's like, okay, I just can't get there. And then one day I'll be playing and I'll be goofing off and it'll just, something will click. It's like someone opened up the faucet up here and the fluid just whoosh. It's like, okay, I got it. So I'm kind of hoping one day I'm just going to pick up the guitar, I'm going to do that, and it's gonna work for me. I know that sounds like magic pixie dust, but I've noticed that in my playing, I'll practice, and sometimes I'll practice it so much I really start to get worse at it. I'll leave it alone for a little while, and when I come back to it, most of the time I may not necessarily nail it, but I feel that I've progressed even though I didn't practice it for like 3 weeks. I don't know if that's happened to you guys or not, but it seems like I'll get like little jumps. It's like I'm not getting any better, and all of a sudden, boom, I go up a notch. Oh, I could never do that before. And then I'll play that for a little while, and I practice, and I don't get any better, and all of a sudden, boom, I go up, and then, oh, I can do that now. I've noticed that a lot with learning guitar. A lot of drawback is I set the instrument down for a long time. And when I first picked up the guitar again, my brain was telling me that I could do these things, but my hands weren't working well together. My hand-eye coordination and my memory and all that it's like, yeah, I used to do this, but now I can't. And over the last 3 or 4 years of playing again, I've noticed a lot of the things, well, some of the things I used to do that I really like to be able to do again, I still can't do. But some of the things I struggled with 20 years ago, it almost seems like now I can get my head around it. And I think a lot of that is just my ears now are better and I'm able to distinguish the notes and the patterns, where before I had a hard time distinguishing necessarily what was going on, and I faked a lot if I couldn't get there. So I'm going to read the comments. If I had a nickel for every note that I missed, I wouldn't be inside. I tell you, I wouldn't even need a nickel, Penagore. You give me a half a cent, and I would be a billionaire. You know, I have missed so many notes. That reminds me, the first couple, we'll call them bands that I was in, so bad, if someone messed up, they would just stop. One of the first things a new band should learn is not to stop. Play through, and be honest with you, 50% of the people in the audience won't even know you made a mistake unless it's just you broke a string or something catastrophic happened. Maybe 25% of the people will be musicians that go, ooh, that was a bad note. But if you pull out of it and you save it, those are the same guys that will go, that was a pretty good save. But you don't get good at saving until you make the mistakes and learn how to save it. And we used to call that pulling it out of your rear end. And believe me, playing out live, sometimes you got to pull some stuff out because you go somewhere and let's just say your set list isn't going over too well, and you're forced to deviate from what you normally play because it isn't going over well. So you're like, okay, we need to go fishing here and figure out what's working. Yeah, Jerry says I need to work on synchronized, and that's exactly what it is. It's a synchronization thing. I'll sit a lot. Now, see, the only drawback, and I'm not going to say it's a drawback because I actually like it. The only drawback to the Line 6 system is I have to have my headphones on to hear the guitar. So, what I used to do a lot, I didn't even plug in. I would sit in front of the TV and I would just... I would do it over and over again. Sometimes I'd just sit and do this. And I would try to get the cadence proper. Now, sometimes you want the swing. And then other times you want to. A lot of times in blues, you want that alternative. It's a offbeat cadence. Then other times you definitely want the. Do that a lot too. Just sit and do this over and over and over. And I'll try to take my middle finger and this finger and alternate my location. Or actually my third finger. All you're doing is just working your fingers. The issue is, when I stopped playing, I don't think I told you guys this. That's actually Gorilla Glue on my hand. My hands aren't dirty. That's actually Gorilla Glue. But if you look right there, I have a really bad white scar. I ended up shooting myself in the hand, right through the center of the hand. And I didn't play guitar for about, it took about 2 years for me to get my hand up and running again. And that's really what kind of stopped me from playing. I had an accident at work and shot a Hilti fastener right square through the center of my hand. And at the time, the doctor was like, I went in, I said, well, I play guitar, am I going to be okay? And he said, well, you're never going to play guitar again. And I was like, well, I play guitar. And he gets like, well, you'll be lucky to be able to move your pinky. You know, this is a pretty bad injury. We're going to get in there. We're going to fix what we can. And you got to exercise it and work. And I remember the first 6 months, I would take this hand and I would literally place my fingers on the strings. And I couldn't really feel anything. I'd put it on there and I would go. Then I would go and I go, okay, I got to make a C chord. And I'd literally do that and just, and my dedication, over the year and a half, the doctor said my dedication on playing guitar and wanting to play guitar was why I ended up getting my, if you watch, see when I move this, the one tendon is connected. They got, it was damaged, and so it's cut short. So there's certain times when I move my center finger that this finger jumps. And it'll actually jump, and you can see it in my playing. I won't be using it, and that finger will just kind of flutter, and that's from the tendon repair that they did in my hand. And what they claimed is eventually that would stretch out, and it has gotten better. Like I do have independent movement on all my little fingers now, and before it wasn't like that. When I would move these two fingers, everyone says it's their pinky. I have no issues with the pinky, but I had issues with these two fingers after the accident. They would kind of work together in unison. But now they're much better. I don't know if anyone's had something like that that's happened to them. It's when the doctor told me that, I was like, oh, I was traumatized over it. I loved music, and I was in a band at the time, and of course that ended. I didn't play. I probably didn't play in a band for. It probably took me 7 years to get back playing again, and I definitely was not the musician I was after the accident. Um, I eventually did get pretty decent again, and then, of course, I stopped playing for all those years. But that's a little short story for Music and Gear's past life when he couldn't play due to an accident. I don't know if anyone here has had anything like that actually happen to them. You go to the doctor and they give you and it may not even be music. It could have been something else that you love to do, that all of a sudden you were told, well, you're never going to be able to do that again, and that's what I was told. But again, about a year later, it was probably about a year later, I was making leaps and bounds, and he said that because I had such a dedication to want to play guitar again, it was far better than any rehabilitation program that they could have put me in, because I just sat there and just over and over and over tried to reteach this hand to get the muscles to get back to working. And you can see the large scar on the top of my hand from it. That's from the fastener. How do they say, it hurt really bad. Yeah, it hurt really bad. Let me get my glass of tea real quick, guys. Is my tea in there, hon? And before Jerry and Devastator say anything, no, I did not bring the other laptop out here for the chat. I've got the chat window enlarged on OBS. I did figure out how to do that, so that seems to be working a lot better.
You do know Jupe is in there, right?
Oh, Jupe's in the group.
He's been in for a few minutes.
Okay, Jupe. Since Jupe's here, guys, you know what that means, right? I'm going to smoke a cigarette because my only bad habit is smoking. And I think I'm getting a little better, but I am a smoker. But since Jupe's in the group, we're going to open Jupe's package over here as soon as I smoke this smoke.
I don't know if he saw my comment or not. He had asked what kind of breed wolf he is. Said he was a cool looking fellow. I don't know if he saw my comment or not, but I put he's a full size Pomeranian.
Yeah, Jupe, the dog is a full-size Pomeranian. Before they breed them down into little... Well, he's still yappy. Okay, we're going to make that straight. He's still a little yappy. But before, when they take a full size and they breed it down, they breed it down, they breed it down, then they become sickling and very yappy. This is what what a full-size Pomeranian's supposed to look like before they breed them down and do all the foo-foo things to them. They're actually a pretty decent-sized dog. If you think of a Pomeranian, they're pretty small. But in reality, a true Pom is this size or a little bigger. He's actually small for what he is. But yeah, he's a cool dog. He looks like a little wolf in the front, and he's got the little fuzzy tail. He looks good when he's trimmed up. He kind of looked like a ragamuffin here the last 2 months.
Don't forget we have a pit bull downstairs.
What's that, hon?
So don't forget we have a pit bull downstairs.
Oh, yeah, and we do have a pit bull downstairs. Now, he's not a little dog. The pit bull, he got the big jaws. I mean, huge jaws. She got the big jaws, big broad shoulders, standard pit bull. So we got 2 dogs. Yeah, Rottweilers. Yeah, there's so many really good dogs out there. But we've got the 2, and that's all we have right now. That in itself is a handful. It really is. Well, let me grab this guitar box. I'm going to slide that over. I was looking at this thing, and of course I picked it up from this end, and it's still got the factory staples in it. So I'm like, well shoot, he sent me a brand new guitar. And then this end here has the tape. There we go. We have a knife, hon?
Yeah.
She's gonna get me a knife. And there he's got his little return package slip right here, guys. So this is Joopy's guitar.
You said Joopy.
Joop's guitar. It's here for massive work. From what I understand and what he said in the chat, the tremolo's in bad shape. It won't lock the strings. So he has a strip saddle. And I think he wants to change the pickups. He's not happy with the pickups in it. Oh, it's a box in a box. And see, guys, he puts extra packing in here. Look at this. Good packing. So let's get all the, oh, it's a lot of packing in there. He's got this thing well packed. More packing. All right, we'll get the other box out. There's the first one. So then we got this box. And then he's got it all wrapped up just like the factory. Oh, I see battle damage. It's got some battle damage on it. So there it is. And he's got some other goodies here we're going to go over. The tremolo bar did not stay taped to the box, just so you know. It was just kind of floating around in there. Got an envelope. Making sure there's nothing else I missed. So here it is, guys. This is Mr. Joop's guitar. And yes, it's the Joop in the chat. And right there on the end, we've got battle damage. So, Joop, you can tell me if that was damaged before it was shipped to me. I'm assuming it was. If not, there is a chip in the headstock.
Yeah, he said there's a chip on the headstock.
Okay. So it looks like it's got the stock Schecter pickups in it. And, of course, anytime you do a full setup on a guitar, guys, Joop has sent me 2 sets of strings. Very smart. The first set will get destroyed setting the intonation on the guitar. So you need 2 sets of strings. So he's gotten me 2 sets of strings there. And then we have a Jason Becker Seymour Duncan to put in this guitar. Now I'm gonna see if there's any pull. It does have a push-pull right now. So I'm assuming that is a split coil right here. I'll have to go to Schecter and look at the wiring diagram, but I'm assuming that's for splitting the coil here. So let's look at the Jason Becker pickup and check out the wiring on it. So here's the pickup. And you can see on the end of the pickup here, it does have 4 wires. You got the red, white. It's actually technically 5 because you have a ground. So we can split the coil on this pickup. I have not spoke to him about that, but I'm assuming that he'll want to split the coil and do a coil split on it, just like the factory setup. So that's the pickup he sent me. And of course, once you take the pickup out of the little fancy thing, it never wants to go back in right. So I'm going to put the ring down in the bottom. Then the piece of foam. And then I'm going to set the pickup like that.
He said, yeah, split the coil.
Yep. So there's the pickup. Now here is the stock bar. So this has the push-in bar from Floyd Rose. And right now I'm just kind of feeling it. There's no strings on the guitar. And that's another thing. Now the damage has already been done. But I know a lot of people with the Floyd Rose will take all the strings off at one time. Word of advice, guys, when you are changing strings on your Floyd Rose, take one string off at a time. If you look at how this tremolo now is just decked into the base of the guitar. Okay, right here where this post is, right in there, there's a knife edge on the base plate of this tremolo. Usually, the angle of that screw is only about 15 degrees, okay, max. And the edge of the base plate comes in and tapers. So when you figure the side of the screw is like this and the tremolo sits in this groove like this, okay, and it has to work within this angle and this angle. If it comes down and hits the edge of that screw, the angle of that groove in the screw, it kicks the tremolo up and the knife edge rubs the top side of the groove of the screw. So when you look at this, anytime you do that, it's putting excessive pressure on the knife edge of the tremolo, because the tremolo is supposed to be here. Even when you up pull, okay, you usually don't max out the bridge like that. But it's much easier on the tremolo if you stay somewhere in the center, okay, when you're changing the strings. So I take the E string off, put the new E string on, then I go to the A, the G, the D, the B, and I take them off one by one. When you do that, you lose the pressure of that one string. And the tremolo comes back a little bit, but not a lot. Some people put the plastic piece behind the bridge underneath. That's fine too. Some people claim that you can pull tight with the string, and when you lock it in the bridge, as long as it's snug when you pull it through and lock it, when you pull the plastic out, you should be, probably 3 steps down from tune. I've never had too much success doing it like that and pulling the plastic out and having it that close. So I usually just do it string by string. And that's another reason they'll put the plastic piece on it, take all the strings off. That prevents the tremolo from decking out in the guitar as well. So let's do some basic looking at Jute's guitar. Since he sent it to, as some call me, what was the one, McFret-a-lot?
Yeah.
McFret-a-lot or Fret Rocker-a-lot or whatever that was, the guitar inspector. I've been called pretty much every name in the book. So let's see if I can find my fret rocker. I think I took everything downstairs.
I think it's right on the top step.
It's right on the what?
Top step of the basement.
That's where it's at. I was going to take it down to the basement and I didn't. Hold on, guys. See, we are 100% professional on this live stream. I never leave the camera open. I have everything already organized and ready to go. So here's our fret rocker. So the first thing I want to do, woofy fuzzball. And he just got a haircut in those woofy fuzzballs. So the first thing I want to do is I want to check the neck. Since there's no strings on the neck. And I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to put it up here. The straight edge is actually rocking on the guitar. So if I hold it at the top, right here, there's a gap between the fretboard and the tool. And that's not bad. Why that's happened is there's no string pressure pulling on the neck. And that's another reason why I say don't take all the strings off the guitar. Because when the neck pulls back like that and then you pull it the other way, that's hard on it. So if you take one string off at a time, the neck isn't going to move that much. It isn't going to pull back that much if you just take the E off, Then you put the new E on, you bring it up the tune, you go to the A, and it prevents this from happening. Okay, in Jupe's case, it doesn't matter because I'm going to go through these frets. So to fix the frets, I have to take the strings off. So that means I have to make a truss rod adjustment. And my first adjustment I'll probably do tonight. I'll adjust the neck and I'll try to get it as straight as I possibly can with the straight edge. I'm going to wait 2 days. I want to check it again. If it moves, I'm going to make an adjustment. I'm going to wait 2 days and I'll check it again. I want the guitar to stabilize for at least 3 days. The reason for that is if I put my tool on here and I flatten and I level the frets, I want to make sure the neck is stable and straight. I don't want to do a fret level and crown, then when I come back with my rocker and I double check it, if I have to go back with my sanding beam, I don't want that neck to have moved at all. It has to be stable. If it continues to move, I have to start all over again. You can't chase the neck. The neck has to be stable to do the work. Once the work is done, you can gauge it, and then when you send it, you can make an adjustment if it goes out, if it's like more humid or dry. Once you know what that gap is, let's say on your straight edge, you're going to say, okay, I have it set up at, in the center, 0.02 millimeters. When Jupe gets it and it re-relaxes, he puts something on it. It doesn't even have to be this. Just something straight that he can gauge the relief. Okay? As long as he goes to that number that I give him, he knows the frets are level. Okay? No neck is perfectly straight. When you put this gauge on it, even when I say it's perfectly straight, there's little spots. It might be out a thousandths here, a thousandth there, because it's a piece of wood. Okay, does that kind of make sense? So the big key is get it as straight as you can. It's not a fretless instrument. You have frets. So the point is to have the frets level and the neck as straight as you can get it. So you need that offset. Let's say I tell him what it is at the 12th and the 6th. As long as he always sets it up to that point, he knows the top of the frets are perfectly straight. If I say it's 0.02, okay, and then he goes to 0.04, then he's putting 0.2 millimeters of relief in the neck. You can do that. There's no, you can add relief to the neck. If you start getting into these low tunings and the strings start vibrating, you might want to add a little relief to the neck so you don't get that string buzz. But right now it is bowed this direction because there's no strings on it. And before anybody says anything, it's not enough of a bow to affect our fret rocker. Okay? Yes, there is 0.2 millimeters bow in the neck between here and here. But this is all we're measuring. This is the maximum distance. So in this distance, it's not going to be a measurable amount. That's why a full fret level is a complete different thing than if I take my fret kisser and I come in here and I just touch up the fret here or there. That doesn't mean with the fret locker the frets are all perfectly level and straight, because we're only gauging this distance. Does that kind of make sense, guys? If you take a real straight edge and you put it on a guitar that you just fret rockered that you say is 100% correct, you still could be off a couple thousandths of an inch here or there, because it's gauging all the way across. The longer that distance, the harder it is to keep everything perfectly in line. The shorter the distance, like here, when you get down in here, this could be off a thousandths, and then up here you might be off 20 thousandths based on this plane, because it works off a plane. Does that kind of make sense? So if you're off here high, that means over here it's going to be even more. But you're not gauging it to there, you're only gauging it from the 24th, 23rd, 22nd fret. So let's just take a look at it real quick and let's see how these frets actually are. And right off the get-go, we got some rocking. So, second fret all the way across. Now, right here is what I always say is bad news. That's what we're going to do a fret level on it, so it doesn't matter. Right here I have a rock. Okay? If I move down one fret, it's rocking again. So that means this fret or this fret is low. The only way to fix a low fret is to sand all the frets down to that lowest fret. So it definitely needs a fret level. That one's all good. Little bit of rock right there. Little bit of rock right here. Solid, solid. Little bit. Solid. Little bit there. Little bit there. Solid. Now right here it's rocking if I move up, but if I move down it's not. Right there it's solid. Right there it's got a little rock. Solid. So it's kind of bouncing around. And it will get better as we go down the neck. And I qualify that. I'm saying it's going to get better with this tool because the distance between the frets are decreasing. So the likelihood of it rocking down here is lower than up here because the distance is smaller. Right there, it's rocking. There, there, that whole fret. It's got a little bit right there, so one of those frets is a little low. And right in here it's bad. From the E all the way down to the D section. And the 23rd fret as well. At the high E and B location. And I flew through that, guys. There's quite a few spots up through here that I didn't really say anything. I was pointing out the real bad ones. Some would come out if I straighten the neck, but it's not going to be much better. It's got 2 low frets. And like I said, I flew through that check because I know I'm going to straighten it. I know I'm going to do a crown and level on it anyway. So it does have some low frets. Looking at the fingerboard, it is showing some fret wear. So Jupe has definitely put a little time playing this guitar. And it's showing it on the 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret. 5th fret is showing signs of wear. Same with the 6th. Our 14th. Well, actually, our 12th, 11th, our 12th, 13th, 14th fret, right here. So evidently, he likes to play an E. He's playing some leads in the key of E. If I'm wrong, Jupe, you can put in there and say I never play an E. But the frets say you've been doing some E lead work right here, right there. It's grooved right in here. That's what the frets are saying. As far as A, not so much. Yeah, a little bit of fret wear here on the 12th, 13th, and 14th. These just look like they're a little on the flat side. Looking at all the frets from probably the 8th fret down, I'm going to say between here and here, the frets are on the flat side. And then starting right here, they have it looks like a pretty decent crown. But these look kind of flat through here. But I'm not seeing fret wear grooves on it. So I'm going to ask Jupe, has this guitar ever had a fret level in the past? If it has, they didn't put much radius in these frets. It doesn't. The fret crown isn't consistent on the guitar. Has it ever had it a crown and level, Jupe? Well, thanks for telling me the back plate's missing. I just happened to flip it over and see that. No. So that was factory. It's probably not going to show up on the camera. But if you look at the crown on the very last fret there. Now I want you to look at the top of the frets as I move the guitar down. See how they get flat?
He said whatever you can do. If you need more money, just let him know.
So if it's never had a crown and level, that's factory. And again, I'm going to say it looks like it's bright in this room. It's actually quite dark. And this light here is a little brighter. And it's giving me a really nice, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's giving me a really nice shadow line on the frets. So sitting right here, when I'm looking at it, I can actually see the spot across the frets. And when I get down to these frets, it's very narrow. And these are really wide. But we're going to make it right. There's a ton of fret left on this. So we've got a lot of fret to work with. As far as the side of the frets, the side dressing on these frets are nice. If this is factory. If this is factory, the side dressing is sweet. Every one of these is very smooth. I'm not feeling anything sharp. Now the fingerboard edge right here, this neck does not have much of what they call a round over. There's no break. This is a pretty sharp edge right here on this guitar. And this guitar does have a maple binding. If you guys look at that, this maple binding comes down into the fretboard just a little bit. So if you want to, we can chamfer this a little bit. And maple's a really good wood to do it with. We can chamfer that and put tried and true on it. And you'll never know that the guitar was modified right there. It will blend in, and we can give it a little bit more of a rolled feeling there. It'll give it more of a played-in feel. I don't know if you ever noticed that the crispness that the guitar has right here. Now, some people like that. If you like that, Jupe, I'll leave it alone. But if you want me to roll that a little bit, I can. Yes, Devastator, you're right. It's going to be a completely different monster when he gets it back. So he said the one thing back here is stripped. Yeah, I can literally turn the locking screw with my finger. Yeah, that's in bad shape. And this particular one has the 34-inch or 34 millimeter black block from the factory. And you can see the bonding here for the ground wire under the claw.
He said do whatever you think is best.
Yeah, like I said when we were talking on the email, it's definitely going to need saddles and locking blocks. I think I have everything in stock except for the saddles. I don't think I have a stainless steel saddle set in stock downstairs. I know I have a base plate. I know I've got a spring plate. I know I have a stainless steel hardware with all the locking screws and the hardened steel blocks. But when you buy the saddle kit, it'll come with that. So no sense in... I ordered the screw set just in case someone wanted to do the upgraded screws. But when you order the saddles, you'll get the upgraded screws with the saddles. So it doesn't, it's no big deal. But I have an FR 1000 plate posts, and the spring plate. And since that's running a 34, the 34 is pretty close right here. I think I have a 34 L block too. I'll have to go downstairs and see what pieces I actually have. I try to keep everything down there for when people drop off guitars. I can't keep everything. Like I don't keep locking nuts. I take that back. I probably have an R2 down there, new, in the baggie. But I don't keep an R4. I don't keep an R3. I don't keep an R6, an R8, an R7. There are just so many kooky sizes out there. It really doesn't make any sense to keep all that. It would sit down, if I had an R5 or an R8 nut down there, it would sit down there for 10 years. I've only actually ever seen one guitar with one of those kooky size nuts on it. So that's Jupe's guitar. So you guys know what that means. In the future, and yes, I did get the envelope, Jupe. I'm assuming there's Christmas stuff in here. Yes, there is. So, you know what's coming. Of course, I show everybody everything, guys. If you go back and look at my previous videos, I show how to level, how to crown your frets, how to dress your frets, how to build the tremolo. And we're going to do that exact same thing with Jupe's guitar. The very first thing I'll do is I'll start the video downstairs in the shop. We'll go straightening the neck. And then from there, we'll tape off the neck completely. We'll level all the frets. Then once that's done, we'll do a full crown. Then we'll dress the edge of the frets. We'll fret eraser them. We'll go down to probably a 1600, 2000 grit sandpaper. Then we're going to polish the frets. Then we'll go back and double check them. Because remember, you've leveled them. Then you crowned them. Then you're sanding the sides, and then you're dressing them. Then there's so many steps in there. By the time you get to the end, you can go too far sometimes, and you'll end up with a spot here or there that you got to come back and address. I'm really careful on the crown. I try to leave that line, but you can't leave that flat spot. You have to manually go back over that with 2000 grit, okay? And then when you buff it, you are removing material when you buff. That's, if it's scratchy and now it's shiny, you've removed material. So all these little things can alter what you started with, and that was your level. So once we know all the frets are right, then we can go in. If he wants the sides beveled, we can bevel the back. Then we can address anything that he wants to do on the back of the neck. If he wants to take this, right now, if it's got a high gloss polyurethane back on it, so if he wants to address that, we can address that. Then we can get into the tremolo, disassemble the tremolo, look at the block, look at the inserts, make sure the inserts are good, get that up and running and right. Since the tremolo's out, that's also a good time to work on the electronics, because the tremolo, the springs, the ground wire, all that stuff is, out of the guitar. It's easy to flip it over. You don't have to worry about the bridge falling out of the guitar. There's nothing in it. So pull the top out, do the wiring, then do some reassembling. So won't be too difficult, but it'll at least be at least 4 videos. We'll do a wiring video, probably a basic level video and crown, and then I'll do a separate video with dressing and polishing. I consider fret dressing, that's just like the dressing you put on the salad. That's what you do on the finish end.
He said we're going to do the Vega trim on the strap.
Ooh, that is a good choice. A Vega trim on a Strat is the bee's knees. That's probably the best tremolo that you can put on a Strat. Although Floyd Rose, believe it or not, they do make a non-locking tremolo. for a Strat that's actually pretty nice too. If I had to pick between the two, I think I would go Vega trim. But that's not saying the Floyd Rose version. Forget what the model number of that tremolo is. But that is an awesome bridge as well. Don't discount the Floyd Rose Strat trim with the non-locker.
Birdman came in.
Hey, Mr. Birdman. I just left a comment on your drone video. I just left a comment on your drone video. I don't know if you read it. If anybody knows, Birdman's got a little channel. I drop in occasionally and watch his stuff. It was either today or yesterday. He posted a video of him flying a quadcopter around, and he was doing pretty good with that thing. He ended up flying into his apartment or something and landing in the living room or something. I was like, I didn't know it was his apartment. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's going to fly into that open door, and he flew in, and I was like, oh, he's invading the neighbor's house.
He said the live one.
Yeah, it was a live drone video. It's the one I just watched. I left a comment. I need to figure out why it was sideways. You know, back when I was flying those things, some days those cams and stuff on those things just give you a fit, and they just do what they want to do. At the time, I can't remember. I wasn't using GoPros. I can't remember the camera I was using on mine. But yeah, we used to always have a fit with them. But I haven't flown in a long time, so that was a hobby that I gave up. So you guys can look forward to the videos on Jupe's guitar. We're going to have fun doing that one. It's going to be an awesome guitar when it's done. So I wanted to run something by everyone here on the channel. Now, Devastator and Jerry we've already kind of talked about it. We had a little Skype meeting last night, and I was going through some guitars. I don't know where my list is. I was going through some guitars that were here on the channel and were reviewed, and now they need to leave. Now I can put them on Marketplace and sell them, or I can sell them to subscribers, or this was I don't remember if Jerry or Designator first come up with it, doing a raffle and just raffling them off. And I do have a guitar down here that the review, it wasn't too good on the guitar. But the neck on the guitar and the body on the guitar is worth something. It's a beautiful body on the guitar, and it's a beautiful neck on the guitar. The guitar will need a full tremolo, period. The tremolo on the guitar is awful. And the pickups are so-so at best. So what I was thinking about doing on that one, and we talked about it last night, we might just do a giveaway on that guitar. You know, free. We'll come up with some kind of thing, and a subscriber can get that guitar for free. Could you play it the way it is? Technically you could. The locking nut right here is stripped, so you wouldn't be able to use the locking nut. Just put new strings on it and don't use the tremolo. Because as soon as you move the bar, it goes out of tune. It's that bad. And that guitar is the Firefly. It's called a Berry Burst. If you go back, I did a review about 7-8 months ago on that guitar. We're just going to give the guitar away to somebody. We just got to come up with something to do on who can win the guitar. And if you win it and you don't want it, you don't want to mess with it, then you can pick the person that it goes to or something, that's in the chat or something. I just don't, I don't think it's worth me trying to sell it And you guys know what the problems are. And if there's somebody in the chat that likes puttering with guitars, this one would be a good one for you to get putter with. And you don't have to put pickups in it. Really, you could just get a Goth Bridge or a Floyd Rose Special or something like that and stick in the guitar and make it just a beater guitar.
Niles is on.
Who is it?
Niles.
Hey, Mr. Niles is here. So if you guys want to chat amongst yourselves on what we can do to do a giveaway on it, I think we're just going to give that guitar away. But the other guitars, I think we should do a raffle on. If there's a guitar in the group of guitars that I'm selling that you all would be interested in doing raffles for, and then we'll pick a name out of a hat or something and that person gets it. Is that list in there? I got a basic list, guys. And you guys can see if any of these strike your interest before I list them on Marketplace. Got a Firefly Les Paul Gold Top with P90s in it. And before you all say anything, this was the last Firefly, they made it last year, that had conventional frets. This Firefly has chamfered frets on it. It does not have the ball-in frets, so you will not have the ball-in fret issue with the strings hanging up on the bottom of the fret. It is a conventional fret guitar. In reality, the stock P90s actually sound pretty good. I think that guitar now is like $229 on Guitar Gardens. They used to be $199. I think now they're up to $229 with shipping. So we could do a raffle on that one if someone's interested in it. Then I have another Firefly. Now this is an awesome guitar, guys. This is the White Ash Super Strat that we reviewed about 2 months ago. That has a non-locking bridge on it, but my God, does that thing work good. If you go back and watch the video, I am all over the tremolo at the end of that video, and that guitar stays in tune flawlessly. The pickups are decent. It's got an awesome finish. The only drawback to that guitar, it's ash. It's heavy. It's a heavy guitar, but it's an awesome guitar. So I have that one. Then I have the George Lynch Firefly here, and yes, this tremolo isn't near as bad as the other one. If you pull up on the bar, it seems like it goes really wacky. So it's probably a knife edge issue.
Jupe said just put some of Linnell's nail polish on the chip in the battle wound on the headstock.
Oh, that's pretty funny, Jupe.
I got one that'll match it.
We can do something else to it. We can do an EVH scallop on it or something. Ha! So I got the George Lynch Strat. That one needs to go. The Jackson 7-string we just ordered. I don't know if anyone wants the 7-string. And this is all about doing a raffle, or if you just want to, whatever cost is, that's what I'll do. Now I got a Kramer Beretta that was going to be sold. And then the person ended up saying they didn't want it. Someone was going to buy it for them. And then that particular party said that they no longer wanted a Floyd Rose. So the Kramer Beretta is still for sale. And I said $500 on that guitar, and it's brand new mint. It's a brand new guitar. And I do have another one, but I'm waiting to hear back from the person thinking about purchasing it. And there's probably a couple more. So if the one of these guitars, if y'all want to do a raffle on it, we can do a raffle, and we're going to do a giveaway on the Berry Burst. If anyone's interested in doing a giveaway on the Berry Burst, or if we could donate it to somebody that needs a guitar. If you guys know somebody that really can't afford a guitar, or is young and his parents can't afford a guitar, maybe the channel can put together a little bit of money. I'll do all the work for free, and we can fix the tremolo on it and give it to somebody, or give it to somebody as a project. It's up to the community of the channel to, but that one, I'm just going to do a giveaway on. Put a Band-Aid, Devastator says put a Band-Aid on it. We can do an EVH scallop. I can come in here, see how it's on the point? I can actually do a chamfer or a scallop. Like that. Or I could come in here and I could scallop it like this and change the profile of the headstock. I could come in and do a scallop like that, a radius to a point, or I could round it. How much of a chip is it? Yeah, I could round some of that out and then block sand the poly and polish it. Be up to Juke. Or I could touch it up. What is that? That's kind of a black. The only problem with touching it up, even if you polish it, you're going to have a ghost line there, because you're never going to match the 2K poly. So if you wanted it to go away, I would probably sand a radius on it and take it out, or do a concave sand like this. EVH does it, the PVHP has one, but just do a mini one right here or something. Or leave it the way it is. That proves that it's been played. You guys can see the chip there. If I was doing it, I think I would round it. I would round this out. And I think that would look cool, because you've already got a little chamfer, little round arc here. So if it went up and then rounded like that and down, I think that would look cool. It would be fitting.
He said it's okay. I don't care about it. I was teasing Linnell.
Oh, okay. She's got a bunch of fingernail polish. I'm sure we can come up with something. We'll put hot pink on it with purple polka dots. How about that? Leave it alone, Jerry says. I say that too. I got a PV that's got more dents, scratches, dings, and chips on it. On YouTube, it looks fine. You can't see it. But in real life, it looks like the surface of the moon. It's pretty rough. It's bad. There's more craters on that guitar than the moon. But that's okay. That's what it's about. It's been well loved. That's what I'll say. It's been well loved. So I'm seeing if anybody else new come in the group that I need to say hello to. I don't think so. I try to keep up on all that. So keep an eye out. Whatever you see on here, since it's live, the video part will always be at least a week and a half behind. So if I start working on the guitar this week, it'll be at least 2 weeks before a video goes up on it. And I'll start actually working on the guitar. If I do a truss rod adjustment tonight and everything goes well, I can probably start working on the guitar Tuesday night. So that'll give me Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Then, of course, on Thursday, we have the live review night. So I won't be able to work on it Thursday. Friday's my goof-off night. That's when the moderators all get together and kind of go over and try to fix things. So it'll give me a couple nights this week to actually work on the guitar. But this one here, I'm gonna have to put a new set of strings on this one, guys. Let's hammer out a couple notes here real quick, since we haven't been playing. Get the headphones on here. Oh, that's something else. Jupe, do you do any fluttering with the tremolo? Because if you do some fluttering, I'll have to set it up to flutter. I have some guitars set up to flutter and then some that I don't set up to flutter. So the yellow Kramer that is for sale, it's the exact same guitar that this one is. It's just in the canary yellow. Exact same guitar. You know, they talk about all these new pickups and stuff. This thing has a JB in it. And I think the JB is just a great little pickup. And it does well at so many different things. It's just this, the Beretta is just a kick butt little guitar. You know, I'd like to say it's a one trick pony, and I guess it is in a lot of ways, but it's a one trick pony that really kicks butt. It does what it does, and it does that well. I love that's why I have two of them. It's just something about the gray. I like the gray a little better. And I'm usually, if you guys know me, I'm more of a slap you in the face kind of guitar player. I like things that jump out and bite you. And this one's kind of bland compared to the yellow one. The yellow one really pops. But this one's kind of mute. You know, it's a black hardware. It's a pewter gray. The neck is just the natural maple. So it's not a really a flashy guitar. But I like this one. But the yellow one we're going to get rid of. I don't need two of the exact same guitar. Get this thing off here. Fix. Jupe says, I can't wait to get an FX4.
He meant 3.
Oh, I was going to say, good thing I didn't buy the FX3 yet. If they got the I can't even speak, FX4 out. Yeah, I get all excited. I get super flustered. But you know, the FX3 now has been out for, what, maybe 4 or 5 years? So, in Axe Effects world, they're usually 5-6 years they do a major update. So I was thinking about that the other night. They might not. This particular unit, they've seemed, I won't say anything's future-proofed, but they have really added so much processing power in this new one. I think it's $2,500. Maybe the architecture of that unit, they're kind of set, and they think that they can just do firmware updates and basic setting changes and keep that unit up to date. Helix has done it, Helix has been running that particular platform now for at least 9 years. So I probably shouldn't worry about the FX3. It's probably that particular architecture and design is probably going to be here for a little while. I don't see it. I don't think they'll change it. But if you think about it, they had the last one. They had a couple different variations of that particular unit. So I don't know. They had now this one they have the turbo, but right now all you can buy is the turbo. They're not doing the basic model. If you go to Axe Effects, you can't even buy the non-turbo FX3 right now. They're only selling it with the upgraded DSP and memory. That's the only way you can get it. Jupe says, I was thinking the same thing. That's why I'm holding off, but who knows? Yeah, I thought about that too. I don't know. Just going by their past, it's 5, 6 years, and then they update the model. And then usually when they do a model update, it's only 1 year, and then they fix the bug. They'll come out with a plus, or in this version, the turbo. As soon as it come out, it had so much stuff, and the effects were so good, it used up too much memory. So, of course, everyone wants more stuff on their signal chain. So they're like, okay, here's more memory and more processing power so you can just completely oversaturate your signal with too much reverb delay and everything. So, I don't know. But I will say this, guys. I think it's time to take a little break. It's time to go out and get some tea, use the restroom. And if you're familiar with this channel, you know we do intermission. So right now I'm looking for the break scene. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. And when we come back, everyone should have their refreshments, their snacks, beer if that's what you're doing. You can go get a good cold beer and get some potato chips. I don't think you got time to run to McDonald's, but at least get some goodies, and we'll be back in 5. Okay, and yes, I was paying attention to the chat window. Um, let me, I was actually smoking again. I was reading the comments and you guys were talking about headless guitars. So I see Devastator had mentioned the one that I have. So I went over and I grabbed it. This is my headless. Let me see where the thing is. Now this one's kind of different, guys. It's got a real wild body on it. And if you're not into scallop guitars, you're definitely not going to like this guitar. It is, well, it's heavily scalloped. It's definitely scalloped. It's got one heck of a scallop job on it. This is my travel guitar. And when I say it's scalloped, it is scalloped. The whole neck is scalloped. And it's a heavy scallop. It has luminlay inlays that glow in the dark. Heavily chamfered body with a maple veneer on the top. Now, I haven't played this guitar since, it's been a while, so I don't know if it's in tune or not. Let me set the bag over here. Let me kind of see here. It's out a little bit, but we'll plug it in. Grab my headphones here. Now, I did a video on this guitar a long time ago. Wasn't very happy with the sound I was getting out of the pickups. So before I replaced the pickups, sometimes you can go in and you can start playing with the capacitors, and you can get a different sound out of your stock pickups. Are they going to make them go from muddy to, something awesome? No. But you can change the tone quality if they seem a little thin or they're too deep. You can go in there and you can select the right cap to put on it, and it will make a difference. So since this thing is so scalloped, as I play it, you're probably going to hear me probably playing too hard. I tell people if you want to learn how to not overpress when you're playing the guitar, get yourself one of these. It will teach you so quickly that you're overplaying or you're playing too aggressively. It will teach you, I guess, finesse. And if you guys watch me play, one thing that gives me a sound, I'll call it my style, is I play pretty aggressively. I attack the strings. So when I play this guitar, it's a big learning curve. And you can hear when I go to the A, I'm always over pressing. And a lot of that's the fan fret. It takes you a little while to get used to the fan fret. It takes a little while. This scale is 26 to I think 24 and a half on the scale length. It's quite aggressive on the fan fret. So it always takes you a little while to get used to the way the fret is tilted down here. And you can hear that I'm over pressing sometimes. And you can hear I'm getting a little better each time I go through it. It takes, the scale is a little different. It kind of plays with you. But I take it on vacations with me. This is a great playing guitar. I view it as more of a tool. It teaches you how to fret. not having that fretboard underneath, it's I can't really describe it. There's no way that you can push this thing down and get, all you're getting is the string on top of the fret. And you can hear I'm over pushing. That's in tune, but I'm so used to digging in, that's out of tune. If you don't have a fan fret, it will teach you a lot. A lot of the things that I do now, I would say this guitar has taught me. And the more you play it, the better you'll start sounding. Even from when I first started playing it, you can hear I'm getting the notes a little cleaner to ring out. I was over attacking, over pressing everything. It doesn't. You almost have to play it easy to get it to do right. So the more I play it, the better I'm getting at it. I'm learning that I can't over attack this hand when I'm fretting. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I hear it. I hear my over pressing. So that's my travel guitar that they were talking about. This is made by NK. It's an import company, and from the factory, all these cavities are lined with real copper tape. Inside here, everything. I mean, it's done beautifully. I don't have my Phillips screwdriver. I'd take it out. But the copper tape is done so nicely in this guitar. Everything is shielded. And all the wiring has what they call bond grounding. All the wiring has a loom, a braided shielded loom over it that's bonded on one side and left open on the other for fluorescent lights. So those are your little tuning mechanisms down there. It's a cool guitar. Now the other pickup settings, it does have split coil. So this would be the bridge pickup and split. And then humbucker. It's not a lot. I'm going to take some of that edge off. Humbucker. It's much thinner in humbucker mode. You can actually hear all the hum come. Now as soon as I push it into humbucker, now I'm going to split it. Humbucker. You can hear there's quite a bit of noise when you go to single coil. Go to humbucker. You can hear it's much deeper. Single. Humbucker. I think the caps still need to be changed in it. I have to open it up and see what I put in it. It was very dark sounding when I received it. And I did change the caps in the guitar, trying to make it a little less dark. This is the center position. Neck position. neck in a single coil. I actually like the neck on it. If I take some of the dirt out of this particular channel, let's take some dirt out. Let's turn the drive down on it. I think the neck on this guitar really sounds good. That's neck split, so that's a single coil. Let's go to the humbucker in the neck. I like it better in the split neck. Now, if you take the split neck and you put it in the center position, so now you're going to be humbucker at the bridge, split neck. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think of it, but this is the guitar that I take anytime we go on vacation. I take this guitar and my little Line 6. Actually, what I'm doing right now is exactly how I go on vacation. I take this, my Line 6 stomp, a pair of headphones, and I just jam out in the hotel room, do whatever, and it all fits. Everything fits right in this bag. I put my headphones in the bag, put the Line 6 stomp in the bag, The Line 6 Stomp has a tuner in it, one guitar cord, throw it in the back of the truck, and I'm done. NK.
Hey, Jupe said show the back of the neck on it.
Oh, this is a wing pay neck. Beautiful, beautiful neck on this guitar. And yes, that is Purple Heart. So it is wing pay, 5-piece wing pay neck with Purple Heart. 2 pieces of Purple Heart. It's not really showing the color. It's called Purple Heart for a reason. It kind of looks red in this camera, but it's more of a red purple. And this is wing pay. Now, if you talk to people like Carvin or Kiesel, they do this wood on the neck. They're not a big fan of it. It's a really grainy neck, and they claim if you sweat a lot, it gets in the pores of the neck. But it's a real popular wood. It's
said that thing is gorgeous, Avery.
This is a beautiful guitar. Just the wood. And it's a 1-piece body. Now, we were looking at them last night, and the ones that I saw last night had multi-piece bodies. This one is 1 piece. 1 solid piece of wood. Now, I know, wood's expensive, and you're chopping this kooky shape out of this big block. There's a lot of waste. So I understand why manufacturers do multi-piece. But a solid chunk of wood, the grain, just looking at the grain and how it flows through the guitar. I mean, I know it's the back of the guitar, but they have them without the veneer top. Can you imagine this one without the veneer top? What the grain looks like? I actually like it. And like I said, it's a cool tool to learn. I've had this guitar. I should play it more because, like I said, it's a good learning. The more I play it, you can actually hear my playing's gotten better and better as I've just played it this 15 minutes. That's why I say it usually takes 15 minutes for your brain and your hands to get used to something new and different. When you change scale lengths and in this case, it's a scale length. I don't have anything like it. I think this is either 26 to 24.5 or it's I'm pretty sure it's 26 to 24.5. It might be 26.5 to 24.5. I mean, it's quite an aggressive fan fret. I'd have to go back and look at the spec sheet when I got it. And then, of course, the full scallop. That's the thing that teaches you the most. And it's got a real beautiful grain in the neck. See all that figuring in the neck? It looks like an ocean. It looks like waves because it's scalloped. So the scalloping gives it that ocean look. It just makes the grain really pop in the neck. Yeah, it's definitely a cool guitar. It's the only one I have like it. That's the only headless instrument I have. And I got this one after reviewing the E-Art headless. And there was nothing wrong with the E-Art headless that I reviewed. A subscriber sent that guitar in to me to review. He ordered it off of Amazon, sent it right to my house. He never even received it. Sent it right to my house. I did the review. Then I met him in Northern Virginia to to give him the guitar, but he had me review it after he bought it. I can't remember his name now. We did a special. I've deleted the video, but we did a special. Didn't he have a stroke or something?
I think so.
I think he had a really bad stroke and ended up paralyzed. And that was like 2 or 3 months after I give him the guitar back. It was, if you're really been a subscriber for a long time, you probably remember that. The video was up for a month thanking him and talking about him and stuff like that. And he sent me an email and said, look, I'm not doing well. Thanks for putting up the video, but it's time to take it down. And I'm like, okay. And we had a bunch of people reach out and say, get better soon. And believe it or not, I think that was the last time I heard from him. But I do not think that he was doing well. We might want to, well, I can't even go back and look at it. We could go back and look at the original video of the review, and I mentioned who it was. And we could probably see if the account is still open on YouTube and reach out to him. But I know that he was having some health issues. But after that, I decided to pick up a nice headless. And this was the one that I decided to go with. And in its stock form, the pickups were very dark sounding. I changed the caps on them. So I did a video on that too, doing some wiring modifications in this guitar. So you guys are interested in that, you can go back and look at that one. That was one of my reviews and videos that really didn't do too well. Sometimes YouTube can be kind of hard on you. You do a video and it just gets no reviews. And a lot of that is people look at it, they see the name. It's not a manufacturer that they're familiar with, so they just kind of, I'm not interested. It's not Fender, it's not Gibson, or believe it or not, Firefly gets a lot of views. Firefly. I like Firefly products, but I have, as the old saying, I have beaten that horse down to a pulp. So we've done a couple different budget type guitars. The Squire up here, that's a phenomenal instrument. The Jackson, that Jackson V, that thing plays like freaking butter. The action height on that guitar is insane. The only thing that guitar needs, it needs the fret, the ends of the frets dressed. And if you're a 7-string player, don't even think about it. Just go buy that 7-string offset V. You're going to be happy. For 200, I think it's 265. The regular price on Reverb is like $289. It's a Jackson for under $300, a 7-string that play. I mean,
Jerry White just came in.
it's awesome when you stop and think about it. It really is. Hey, I see we got Jerry. And we got Mikey. I just saw we got Mikey in the group. I don't think I give Mikey the thing too. If you didn't get the clap, you'll get it eventually in this group. Trust me. It's a going thing with this group. We accept no responsibility for any medical bills that you may incur. Just saying. Just putting it out there. Uh-oh. They're talking about pulling the vehicle over if someone doesn't stop. I see it.
That's usually Mark's thing.
Oh, that's Mark's thing. Gonna pull the vehicle over.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. You better take credit for that, Mark. Jerry's gonna steal your thunder.
Mikey said, I don't want the clap. Niall said, I don't want the clap.
Well, I think that was Time Surfing Alien that really liked it. I think that's who it was, Time Surfing. I don't know if he's still in the group or not. I haven't seen a post from him for a while, so he may not still be here.
Jerry White said had it. It ain't no fun. Oh my God.
That's awful. Jerry, it has EMG humbucker in the bridge and 2 EMG singles in the middle and in the neck. They must be talking about a hot rod guitar that I don't know.
I don't know. I forget which one they're talking about. What are Juke's guitars?
I feel left out now. You all are talking about a guitar and I don't know anything about it. EQ, Jerry. I'm looking back at some of the. See, guys, I don't really get to fully get into the conversation usually until the next day, because I'll end the stream and I'll watch the stream, but YouTube sometimes takes 3, 4, 5, 6 hours sometimes before the chat's available. So I don't actually get to go back and catch up on all the chat and read everything, usually till the next day. Jerry says, yeah, I want that V. Well, Jerry, we made a list earlier,
I think, I don't know.
and we're going to do a raffle and a giveaway. The giveaway, if you guys want to go back and watch it's the Firefly Berry Burst. We are giving that guitar away. The guitar has not been touched since the review. And after the review, the locking nut was stripped. And I'm not going to say the bridge is horrible, but it needs a bridge. Even if you went in and cleaned up the knife edges and put a nut on it, it's only going to get you by. So whoever gets the guitar, if they just want something to beat around on, it might be okay for that. But if you really want it to be a player, something that's going to be stable, it's going to need a bridge and a locking nut at bare minimum to make the guitar stable. So we're going to do a giveaway on that. And the V is one of the guitars the channel's going to be selling. But I gave everyone an option. I listed like 5 guitars. You have to go back and watch the beginning of the stream. And we're going to do a raffle. I don't quite know how to do the raffle yet. And we haven't discussed about how much. The cheaper I make the amount, the more raffle tickets we would have to. It's about at least paying for the guitar so the channel can get another guitar for review. And if you guys don't want any interest in doing any raffles, we won't. And I'll do what I've been doing, and I'll sell them either to a subscriber that wants it or locally on Marketplace.
Jerry White said, what model is the Firefly?
I have, where's the list? I have the Firefly Les Paul Gold Top with P90s on it. That one is special because it does not have the ball end frets. It has conventional frets on it, so you don't end up with that problem of the string hanging up on the bottom of the frets. It was the last guitar Firefly did. They only did a limited run last year of that guitar with standard frets. It's a pretty guitar. Yeah, let me go. I'll go get it. Well, if the guitar's in the other room, if you really want to see it, I can go get it. We got that one. Then we got the white. Now this is an awesome guitar. I just did a review on it. The White Ash Super Strat. Awesome. It's an FFST. It was done about 2 months ago. It's an ash body. I worked the trim. It's an awesome freaking guitar. That one's up for sale. And then, of course, the one we just did, the yellow and black George Lynch Firefly guitar. That one's up for sale. And then, of course, we're going to give away the Berry Burst. And then the yellow Kramer Beretta that's been on the channel. So right now, I can show you the George Lynch Firefly. It's right here. So we got this one. If you remember the review on this guitar. And then if anyone wants it and you want me to fix it, I can fix it before I send it to you. We'll work something out. Or if you just want it the way it is, that's fine too.
Jerry White said, what is shipping on guitars nowadays? $100?
It really depends on where you are. What's the worst one we've ever done?
I think it was 100 and something.
Yeah, the worst one we ever done was 100 and something. And then we found that other company that shipped cheaper.
That was the post office shipped cheaper.
Yeah, USPS is much cheaper than UPS.
Not all the time.
Well, she keeps saying not all the time. You really got to price shop it. But that one went halfway across the country for that price. I think the cheapest we've ever sent one is like 50, 55 bucks for shipping. So these companies have worked something out with the shipping companies because they're shipping so much to get them down to the 30 and 35 price point on shipping.
Mikey says I like the white ash body.
Yeah, the white ash one is awesome. I've already put that one back in its box or I'd get it out. But that video was just done. I think the video card is a black background that says Firefly, FFST, Super Strat, and it says music and gear in red letters underneath. That's a great guitar. That guitar needs nothing. You could take that guitar out and just gig and play and have a ball with it as it is.
Jerry's in Indiana.
Indiana, you're probably looking at probably anywhere, I'm going to guess $50 to $70 shipping.
Most likely.
Yeah, to Indiana. And we can work something out, guys, because I don't always, usually on Fireflies, I sell them at their price, okay, locally. So I don't have to do shipping, that helps. But on the shipping thing, you know, if the channel eats a little bit, it eats a little bit. Because I actually, most of the Firefly reviews, the channel can make in a year on a review $30 to $40 for their, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but over the year and you have 11,000 views on a video, you're going to make about 34 bucks on 11,000 views.
Jupe said it cost him, with return shipping, UPS, it came to $76 both ways, and he's in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Yeah.
Indiana's closer to us.
Yeah, Indiana's closer. It all depends. I mean, I can give you, the zip code here is 22630. It's Front Royal, Virginia. So you can get on like USPS and you can do an average weight. Usually a guitar like this in the box, it's going to be 10 pounds. So then figure, 54 by 24 by 4.5 or 5 inches thick because they want to know the size of the box. And believe it or not, the box size makes a big difference. You're going to find there's a sweet spot. So if you do 4 inches and you go, well, 5 inches thick ain't going to make any difference, it might. We did one and I measured the box and I said, oh, that's close enough. And then when I put the true measurement in, it dropped it considerably. So there was a point where the shipping went up just because of the carton size.
Jerry White wants to know how nice is the Gold Top LP.
The Gold Top LP. Let me go get it. I think 200. I'll let it go for 200. I think it was more than that. Let me go get it. This will probably be the last Firefly, unless Firefly changes their what they spec. I don't even know how this one got through Firefly.
Devastator said you got to start showing some legs.
Yeah, I saw that. I was ignoring that comment. Devastator. I'm not going to show any leg. So if you look, this guitar has standard frets. It does not have the ball-in frets. So, and I'm not saying ball-in frets are bad, but sometimes the strings do get hung up underneath of them. So this particular guitar is the P90 Les Paul. And they had already stopped doing the conventional frets for about 2 years. And then they brought this one out and it had conventional frets. And this is just this is a solid guitar. Where's the plug? Had to put my headphones on. So P90s are basically a beefy single coil. I don't know why this headphone set keeps wrapping up in a knot. And I haven't tuned it. You can hear it still has the single coil sound, but it's got a little more drive to it than like a regular single coil. So that's that one. Pretty cool guitar. You can see on the back it's got a natural wood finish. Now something Firefly did, and I think it's cool for a budget guitar. There's no seam on the back of this guitar. Notice the grain? So not only did they do a maple veneer top and then paint it gold, but they did a solid maple veneer on the bottom. See the seam right here? So it is a two-piece guitar body. See it? But then they laminated the back. That makes it very stable. If you have a multi-piece body and you laminate one side, that strengthens the one side. You need to put a piece of laminate on the other side as well. Especially if you're in a high moisture environment. It really locks it together. Plus it looks better. So this one's a cool guitar. And you can see the gold. It's like a gold, it has a gold flake to it. So we got that one. Let me take my headphones off here. So if anyone's interested in this one, before I put it on Marketplace. Now I did give everyone the option to, we could do a raffle. If y'all want to raffle one of these off and just do tickets on each one, I have no issues with that either. But if someone wants it right out, just let me know.
Niles has to go. He says he can't keep up with all you youngins.
That's okay, Niles. We understand. I believe me. Friday at work, I feel it because we do a live stream on Thursday nights, and Fridays I'm always dragging because of the live stream. So I get it. Good to see you, man. I'm so happy that you come in with the chat and you hung out with us. And we'll see you either next Thursday or next Saturday. Have a good night, man. So that's this one. So I don't know, do I have any of the other? Of course, everyone knows the Black V, so y'all have seen that one. What other one was it? I can't get the White Ash one out because I've already boxed it. The George Lynch, the 7-string Black Jackson, we just did a review on that one. So if anyone wants those, I'm gonna wait probably till Wednesday of next week, and if I don't hear anything from anybody by Wednesday, I'm gonna start putting them on Marketplace. But the Berry Burst guitar we're gonna give away, so I'll leave it up to the community how we give the guitar away. So it is completely up to the people in the chat that's watching the video on how we give that guitar away. So if you guys want to discuss that and come up with and like I said earlier, even if someone knows someone, maybe a kid that wants to play guitar and their family can't afford a guitar, it is electric, so they would still need an amp, or someone that used to play that doesn't have one and can't afford it, we could do something like that too.
Mike said that gold top is a Firefly.
Yes, it is a Firefly. Firefly, sometimes, guys, they knock it out of the park sometimes, and then sometimes they miss. This one I didn't plan on selling because it's not ball-end frets. Now, I do have another Firefly without ball-end frets. It's Linnell's old Firefly now. That's a much older guitar. And Firefly used to not do ball-end frets. I'm a firm believer that that's just a better fret. Even though if they're not dressed right, they feel sharp, just the longevity and the playability of the standard fret, I think, is better. Especially if you're in an environment where you have more moisture and it goes dry and really hot to really cold, because the end of a ball end fret, the tang doesn't go to the end. So if that fret picks up at all on the end of the neck, the strings get hung up on it. That's the drawback to the ball end fret. They do look cool. They do feel cool. But it's just, it's one of those things, if you live in an area where you've got a lot of seasonal change, that's something the ball end fret can do. Now, what I do on guitars, when I get them from Firefly that I keep, I go through and I tap them all down, all the way down through here. That's what the company, sometimes they don't get them seated right. So I seat them down right and then do a correction on the neck. And I've never had one ever come back and cause a problem, but the problem's there. So if you buy one and it's hanging up the strings underneath, you got to go through and set the frets. They didn't get all the frets down. Oh, Jupe says I should get rid of the guitar sitting in the chair. Sell it off for Axe Effects money. She's not making a comment. Ha! Yeah, that seems to be the guitar of conversation every night. I haven't played that guitar for a while. I actually haven't played it since the video when I said that she had just gotten it. So she's been playing it. It's her guitar. I don't mess with it.
Devastator said, was he trying to say, Linnell? He was really emphasizing that old on your guitar.
All right, well, this is the Birdman. If you want this one, you can go to the channel. Just send me an email.
That was actually Jerry that asked
Oh, was it Jerry that asked about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll work something do like 200. I think this guitar was 229 when they had it up. So we can, if the shipping's not too bad, maybe I can split the shipping with you. We'll work something out since you guys are on the channel. Like I said, usually now this guitar was never reviewed, so I actually won't make any money back from YouTube on this one. So that was actually not a reviewed guitar. On the guitars that I do a review on, usually after a year, I can usually make $30 to $40 on the video itself and that offset, so I can sell it a little cheaper or cover shipping. But this one wasn't reviewed. So let me put this one back away. But all in all, guys, we've actually had pretty good luck. We had it was about 4 months that nothing sold. We had a ton of stuff on Marketplace, and then all of a sudden the market just went and nothing sold. And it seemed like it's come back a little bit. That was about a year ago. But there for a while, it just nothing sold. And it was crazy. That's why we slowed down on the reviews. And we sold quite a few guitars in 6 months. So we haven't really sold anything now in probably 4 months, 5 months. So they're starting to stack up again. So now it's time to get rid of some of them. She might do the Hendrix lighter fluid trick on it. Wow.
It's because Jupe, well, Jerry Dover said that's it. Mention it one more time, Jupe, in timeout, you'll be. I said that's right. Jupe said, whoops, I better keep quiet. She has my axe sitting there.
You guys are funny. I go back and I read the chat and I'm like, oh, there's all these little mini conversations that you guys they're going over. And I'll look over at the screen sometimes and I'm like, I don't even know what they're talking about. And it's a progressive conversation as the night goes. Okay, Jerry. Yeah, just let me know. It's a great guitar. And before I send it to you, I'll give it a good cleaning. And I'll go through and make sure everything's right on it. Don't send anything out until I go through it. And that guitar has not been gone through. So I'll go through it, make sure the switches, everything works, all the tuners are right, make sure everything's 100% on it. Hydrate the neck. And then if you tell me what you like setup-wise as far as the height, since it's a Les Paul, it's pretty easy to do a moderate setup on it. And I won't charge you nothing, just you let me know about what you like, and I'll set the guitar up, to your liking, and then send it to you. I do that for pretty much everybody. If you just tell me, well, I like .07 on the E and .06 on the high E, I'll set it up to that and check the intonation and make sure the intonation's right. That's just, no guitar leaves here unless it's had the intonation set and gone through to make sure all the solder connections are good. Especially Fireflies. Everything I go through, you can ask Devastator, he has one of my guitars. I go through, make sure every solder joint is correct. There's no hairs, nothing that might cause a problem, in the future. Double check the intonation, get the guitar right. So I'll wait to hear from you. So I'm looking at the window here. For whatever reason, the amount of time has disappeared. All right. Yeah, sometimes OBS does some weird things. But basically what I'm trying to do, I'm going to start like what Jupe and I were talking about earlier, I'm going to start saving up some money, and I'm going to be getting an FX3. So I think for what I do it now, I know Kurt Inscale. I don't know if he's still in the group. I haven't seen anything from him for a while on the post. I think Kurt has one. So if I do get one, I'll probably lean on him quite a bit on programming it, because the SGX 2000 is 30 years old. And I think the Line 6 stomp here has taught me a lot on some of these new ones, but I don't think the architecture between the Line 6 and the Axe Effects is going to be anything similar to one another. You guys are still talking over there. I'm gonna grab the guitar and just go over and play it.
Devastator said you better bury the money in the backyard.
Nah, I don't think I got to worry about that.
Kurt says I'm here. I don't have an FX3.
Yeah, Jerry. If you're especially Gibson, have you all seen the Gibson price reduction? Right now, you can buy a Gibson. It was like a $2,700 guitar. I'm seeing the classic and the studio. I've seen Gibson studios now at $1,599 and $1,799. That's like $500 and $600 off.
Kurt does not have an Axe FX3.
Kurt doesn't?
No, he says he's here. He don't have one.
Where's Kurt?
Under Jerry.
Oh, Kurt doesn't have. Well, who was it that has the Axe FX3 that's in the group?
I don't know. Juice said he likes the action as low as you can get it without the buzzing.
As low as you can get it. Now, Jude, you can get it pretty low without buzz, but do you like harmonics? Do you like pinch harmonics and stuff like that? I'll qualify it. Most of the time, when you lower the action down really low, it starts choking off your harmonics. And I didn't look at the radius of the neck. Anything 12, 10, 9.5, especially 9.5. If you lower it too much, you start choking necks off. 12, 14, you usually don't have a problem. You'll lose the harmonics before you end up with choking notes. If you like harmonics, you usually got to bump the action up a little bit. And that'll actually help a lot too with your sustain. There's how's the old saying? You can't have both, but you're trying to find a comfortable medium. If you bring your string height up a little bit, you get more sustain, better harmonics, but it's harder to play. So you lower the strings down too much, you lose the sustain, you lose harmonics, but it's easier to play. So you're trying to find that sweet spot. Make the guitar play as good as it can. Most guitars like, 0.065, 0.06 on the low E. And you can usually get away with that. Usually, if you go under 0.06 on 80% of the guitars, you start the intonation, not the intonation, the harmonics will start to drop off pretty quick below 0.06 on most guitars. The Black Jackson we just reviewed, that guitar was at 0.06 and it still was pretty harmonic as far as pick attack. That one was stock. Quite impressive. So some guitars you can get down really low. Poor Woofy just can't reach that itch. Yeah, I know. He's struggling over there, isn't he?
I think he is allergic possibly to something they use on him because he's been scratching.
Yeah, he's been scratching since he come back from the place today. So I don't know if something that the shampoo or something that they put on him. He's not happy. I noticed that earlier. He's been really, really having a fit.
Jerry Tover said he's allergic to jupe.
He might be. So Kurt says he's played around with his friend's FX3. Oh, he's got the 11 rack. Okay. Now I know they stopped supporting the 11 rack. So if you guys don't know what the 11 rack is, and you can get the software and your operating system supports it, the 11 rack you can pick up really cheap right now. And that is a very powerful unit. It has a lot of good sounds in it. And right now, you can get the 11 rack really cheap. I've seen them as low as $300. And there's a lot of processing power there. Yeah, we're going to have to give Wolfdo a bath to get rid of all the powder and stuff that's on him. Pretty sure that's something they put on him. He's just going to town over there.
He's been like that since he came home.
Yeah, he's been like Linnell said, he's been like that since he come home. So I don't know what they used on him down there. But he's not liking it. Yeah. Jerry, I've never, well, no, I've never bought a guitar off eBay. I have bought other things like my rack mount spectrum analyzer that I have. That come off eBay. So let me get right here. So if you look over here in the rack, the very top unit you'll see has the lights, the EQ. That's actually an Elisa spectrum analyzer. That came off eBay. But back when that was bought, it was new. So that was before Reverb and before, really, it was actually before Amazon. So a lot of companies sold on eBay just like they do Reverb today.
Birdman's gotta go.
Who is it?
Birdman, he's gotta go.
Oh, okay, Birdman. Thanks for joining the chat. I was reading it. I was like, where's it at? But I see it. Birdman's leaving. So thanks for joining the chat, man. You guys are something. Yeah, if you guys know what the 11 rack is, it's pretty good. I've saw them on eBay, not eBay, but Reverb, pretty cheap. Pretty cheap. So that's the only thing that I've gotten off eBay. I've gotten a couple things off Reverb. I found a Multiverb 4 on Reverb, brand new in the box, old stock. And I believe that was $99 for the Alesis Multiverb 4, which I thought was a steal because I know they're good units. So I went ahead and got that. You can't see it. I was thinking you could see it. It's on top of my other rack. It's on top of the main guitar rack. So I bought it to replace. I have an Alesis Quadriverb that's getting, it's pretty bad. So I was going to put it in my bass amp system because I only need it for a little bit of compression, a little bit of reverb, and some delay for the bass. I just haven't swapped it out yet. Yeah, everyone's saying Night B, man. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Should we do the raffle or not?
Well, Jerry White had said earlier he was up for a raffle.
All right. Now we just need to figure out how we want to do the raffle. So I'll leave that up for the comments in the section down in the video. Underneath where the comment section is. If you guys want to come up with how we want to do it. And we also need to find a home for the guitar that we're giving away. So, again, I'll let the viewers figure out how we're going to do that. We're just going to give the guitar away. It's the Firefly Berry Burst, and you should be able to type that in YouTube, and my video should come up on that guitar, and we're just going to give that one away. It would be nice if it went to somebody that needed it, if that makes sense, guys. That would be the best way of doing it, to go to somebody that needs it. All right, guys, for next stream, yeah, he says, yeah, I'm in. That's cool, Jerry. Like I said, just posting the thing on how you guys want to do it. If we know we've got, like I said, the more people that enter the raffle, the cheaper it'll be. I'm just trying to get the initial funds back out of the guitar so we can buy another guitar for review. It just needs to keep rotating the stock just to keep YouTube happy. Because at some point when you don't do X, they literally YouTube drop show. Yeah, I was thinking 22, because then you would only actually need, even if you covered shipping, worst case scenario you would only need 15 people. Worst case scenario on the shipping. And then I know that would cover the shipping and the guitar. And yeah, because that depends on what guitar you all pick too. Because like the yellow and black George Lynch, that one was $300. The ash guitar wasn't quite $300. That guitar was a little cheaper than $300. So each time their price seems to be going up a little bit.
Devastator said the Firefly guitars 10 entries would cover the cost.
Yeah. What I was saying is, if you're shipping it and it goes to California, so then you're probably looking at $80 in shipping.
Maybe more.
Yeah, maybe more. That's what I was saying. 10 entries would cover a $200 Firefly. This Firefly here was $300. So that, like I was just saying, they're getting more and more expensive. This one was like $289 to my door. So that's what I was saying. Sometimes now, it isn't really the better buy. That's why we started reviewing some other guitars, because this guitar, which is an awesome guitar, is only $329. Free shipping. So that's why we've been starting to do other budget-friendly guitars on the channel, other than Firefly and some of the Amazon guitars. Because a lot of the brands that everyone talks about on Amazon, they're getting more and more expensive. Leo James now, that Hurricane, it's $299. Sometimes they'll do a discount code. It'll go down to maybe $265. Now they do have the old model Monsoon on eBay on sale right now for like $205.
On eBay?
Not eBay, Amazon. Sorry. So $205 for that guitar, I can kind of see it, because then you're looking at $130 price difference between the old Monsoon and this one. But the Monsoon has problems. If you go back and watch my reviews, Leo James, they've got some issues with the fret leveling. Just what I've seen time and time and time again reviewing their guitars. So that's why we started bringing in some different blood to review. The Jackson, this guitar. We did another one. I don't remember what the other one was. We did another, I forget what it was now. That wasn't a Firefly. Bullfighter. I have seen the Bullfighter guitars. I have not ordered one. But I've thought about ordering Bullfighter. But a lot of this Redid, Valgoa, and Grote, they're all the same company. So a lot of times Amazon, a lot of like that Kraken or Kraxon or whatever it is.
Jupe's gotta go.
Okay, Jupe. Send me an email, but I've got the guitar. We're going to start working on it on probably be Monday night. I'm going to go down and adjust the neck tonight, and probably be Tuesday night before I know if it takes. So I won't do anything level wise on Monday. So I might do a disassemble and stuff like that and just get it ready. But it needs, after I do the neck adjustment, I need to make sure the guitar is stable. But thanks for coming in the group, man. Every person that comes in, that helps. That helps YouTube push it to somebody else. And like I said, go down there, hit the like button, leave a comment. That also helps YouTube push the video out for other people.
He said no rush.
Yep, cool, man. But this one's got a really cool sound, guys. Let me plug this guitar in. We haven't played this one for a while. And I really want to know why this thing just keeps raveling up like that. And I've already unraveled this cord, I know 5 or 6 times, just tonight. Okay, let's plug it back in here. Where's our cord? Ugh. And we are not using an amp tonight, in case you didn't know that. We are modeling everything. So this is our Fender Nashville Telly. That's the bridge position. Go up to our second position. Here's our center position on this one. Our fourth position. Let me turn that off. up to just our neck position. I got to put it on a clean channel. It's got a really good sound. This would be the center position. Pretty good sounding guitar. There you go. Clean sounds from this one. The fourth position sounds good on this guitar too. I don't play clean very much. I like playing clean. What do you guys think? Don't play clean no more. I'm not a clean player. That's why I bought this. This one was not, I mean, we did a review on it, but I buy a lot of guitars, but I buy a few guitars for me. And I bought this guitar for me. It's a $300 budget guitar, but this There's something about this. This guitar just has a sound. And whether you add just a little dirt, let's add just a little dirt to it. Just add a little bit. You can clean up. And then when you bite into it, you can add a little bit more drive to it if you want a little dirtier. But it acts well. It's just, it's a good, versatile guitar. But this one was bought for me. I'm pretty picky. You guys know I review a lot of guitars. But there's something about this one, the sounds it makes. And I even said this pickup here, it's a little microphonic. It really is. But I think that little bit of microphonic property that it has, it kind of gives it a sound. And I like it. When I bought it, I said, well, I'll get some really good pickups and put in it. And the more I play it, nope, this guitar is just going to stay stock. I like what it does just as it is. It doesn't need anything. It just needs to be played. That's what it needs. Trying to remember the cough button, too. Trying to be nice to you guys. I see a lot of blue chatting going on. I might have to break out the whipping stick and tell the moderators they're taking up too much bandwidth. Let other people talk. Oh, that's too funny. I see all blue, and that's not good. That means we don't have enough people in here. Stefan, thank you very much. He says very versatile guitar. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about my playing. Yeah, the guitar's great too. That's too funny. Yeah, on a Telecaster though, the bridge pickup's kind of ice picky, so it's nice to keep that tone pot in a telly setup like that. You roll the tone back just a little bit, and it just gives it a sound. It without that tone pot there, the bridge pickup, just like all tellies, it's kind of pokey, and it's really nice in that particular guitar on the fourth position just to roll the tone back just a fraction. Gives it a really warm sound. I didn't do it justice. I'm not a chicken picking player, but I like clean tones. And when you play a nice chord properly, and you hear all the little nuances as you play it, that guitar you can hear the tone separation between the strings. It rings out nice. It's got a nice sound. It's not muddy at all. You guys just heard it in the clean. A lot of demo channels, they don't really play clean and dirt and high gain. All my videos, unless it's a hair guitar, I try to do a little clean, a little dirt, and a little high gain. That way everyone's covered. I sometimes might not do everything justice, but I do the best I can in my reviews. All right, guys, I know it's getting late because my voice is getting hoarse. So let me check. How long have we been on this thing? Where's my cheater screen?
We've been on about 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Says 3 hours and 18 minutes. Now, I already know before Jerry makes a comment, no, we're not going to make it to 12 o'clock, Jerry. Jerry's always pushing me to get to 12 o'clock. That's okay. I think out of most channels, we do the longest streams on YouTube. But I want to qualify that. A lot of times, YouTube doesn't show me all the channels. There's 50,000 channels. But we do long streams here. We really do. At bare minimum, they're 3 hour streams. So that's pretty long streams. And we've been known to go over 4. So that's not horrible. But my voice is starting to get a little hoarse, guys. So I think I'm going to call it a night. Now keep in mind we are going to do another review on this coming Thursday. So I will be reviewing a guitar. So we'll have to wait and see what guitar we're reviewing, but we are reviewing a guitar. And in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be seeing some videos on the Schecter here that was just dropped off. So stay tuned for those upcoming videos. It'll probably be at least 2 weeks away before the first video.
Jerry said, oh, hell no, we went over 4 hours last night.
Oh, well, that was different. That wasn't YouTube. That was Skype. That was the channel people going over and messing around. It was all business. Of course, it started out business, but it ended up just us going off looking at guitars and different manufacturers, Sweetwater, Redid. We went all over the place looking for stuff.
It was 4.5 hours last night.
Yeah, it was 4.5 hours last night. So quite the long. We should probably just do that and put it on YouTube. It'd be the exact same thing. Wouldn't be any difference. Yeah, Devastator says 4.5. So between Thursday night, last night, and tonight, my voice is definitely hoarse. But we are going to do a guitar review on Thursday, so I hope everyone tunes in on Thursday night. Thursday nights are always our review night. We review something. Last week we reviewed distortion pedals. Next week we're going to review a guitar. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, guys, if you would, go down, hit the like button, and I have no longer set it up. Anyone can chat, whether you're a channel subscriber or not. I started thinking about it, and I said, that's not really fair. If they want to come in and just chat, and they don't necessarily want to subscribe to my channel, that's fine. I think I work hard, and hopefully they'll come back to another chat, and eventually maybe I'll earn their subscription. But making them hit the subscribe button so they make a comment, I thought about that and I just didn't think that was right. So if this video was set up that way, it was by accident. I've tried to make it anyone can chat whether you're a subscriber or not. I just think it's better. Once you come and you hang out with us long enough, you'll get that this is a good group of people, and we're just here, talking stuff, talking music. That's what it's about. All right, guys. Like I said, hit the little like button, hit the bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see everyone either this coming Thursday or next Saturday night. And as always, we're going to do the 5-minute, everyone in their conversation. We're going to do 5-minute open chat. And that gives me a break, and you guys can finish up everything you all are talking about. Everyone seems to like it, so we're going to continue doing the 5-minute end scene thing. So I'm getting ready to see which one's which. Starting soon, ending scene Tuesday. That was Thursday night. So it is this one right here. All right, we got 5 minutes. We'll go to the ending scene. And again, if it wasn't for you guys, the live stream could not be possible. You guys make it possible. What's this, hon?
Jerry said 38 more minutes would be working hard.
Yeah, I know. 38 more minutes I would be working. I'm going to get my bozo badge one night. One night we will make it to 12 o'clock. Eventually, it will happen. It's just not going to happen tonight. My voice is just too hoarse. But we're going to do the 5-minute in-stream thing. Everyone seems to like it. So go ahead and keep talking, guys. And like I said, hit the like button for me if you would. And leave some comments at the bottom. And again, if it wasn't for you guys, the streams couldn't be possible. Thank you so much.